I'm working on setting up the pinion preload of my Jeep Wrangler YJ. My new yoke came in. I thought, you know what, this is a good time to make a video of the difference between U-bolt style versus strap style yokes. So let's just jump straight into it. Let's look at the obvious first. Little hole, big hole. Why? Because this has threads in it, this does not. Why? Because the strap style here takes little bitty tiny bolts that holds the straps in. I'll show you that here in a moment. The U-bolt style, the U-bolt simply slides all the way through and puts the nuts on the back side here. Let's demonstrate. We'll start out with the strap style. What you'll do is you'll take strap here, and I've got a couple nuts here that I've been working with setting up a pinion preload. So I've got a couple bolts here that I've been using to set up the pinion preload, so we'll just go with these. So you put that there, screws in there, put that there, screws in there. And that's how that sets. You've got this metal strap right here and the two bolts that holds the end of your U-joint inside there. Pull that up. We'll go ahead and set the U-joint in just for kicks and giggles so you guys get a better view of what's going on. Okay, so we got that tightened down. You can see the cap set inside there. On this side, it's just riding in the tab. You'll take the other strap, of course, and strap this side down. And you're good to go, and your drive shaft comes out this way. So what's the big deal? Why are these strap styles such a problem? Well, the problem is these straps right here stretch. Now, if you was to blow a U-joint out on the drive shaft side, the drive shaft part of the cross, and you blow it out, it's going to still probably pop that U-joint out there, but when it does, it pulls that U-joint out. It stretches that strap right there. Now, some people argue that those strap styles, they work just fine, blah, 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 and for the most part, they do. But if you was to be crawling and you hang a rock on the end of your bolts right here and you beat this up enough, the strap's going to start getting weak. But each time you lose that U-joint, oftentimes down inside here, this radius where this cup is setting, little by little, it'll knock them out around, because the U-joint, oftentimes your drive shaft's twisting like this right here, and it turns loose. It kind of ovals this thing about every time because it ramps up out of there. Because when it twists, it's either going to go out that way, like come straight out this way, or it's going to twist and break the strap. I mean, it could go any kind of different direction, which makes this right here not sit down side of a radius properly, because, well, it's no longer radius, it's more egg-shaped than anything. So what's another drawback to using these straps? Whenever you do lose a U-joint and you twist out of there, oftentimes that bolt right there will break off down inside there. And just imagine that little hole right there, and you've got the head of this bolt is gone, and you've got a section of that stuck down inside there. If you're lucky enough, it's sticking out further enough, you can grab hold of it with some small channel locks or vice grips and twist and turn it out of there. But I have seen them oftentimes break loose, and they'll be down inside that hole and very difficult to get to. And someone out there is going to say, well, you just get a drill and an easy out and you're good to go. Well, what if you're on the trail? That's kind of a pain to tell people. Hey, that rhymed, didn't it? And here's the solution, the U-bolt style yoke. U-bolt meaning, ta-da, that right there. Much, much larger bolt, as you can well see. See that? There's a lot of difference there. Wimpy, 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 hefty, 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 wimpy, 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 hefty, hefty. And it's also kind of a... Now here's a little caveat to those who's going to convert to this style yoke. This, most of the time when you first buy these, they don't fit. People are like, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's the wrong part. They'll run back and forth to the auto parts store, and you'll end up with this part, that part, and still none of them's going to fit. But here's the deal. take your little U-bolt, big pair of channel locks. Don't get crazy, you just want to massage it a little bit, okay? Give it a gentle squeeze. Now that we've got it seated, take a little gander. We got the cap here sitting just perfectly down inside the yoke. But then we got the U-bolt. Ooh, look at that good fit right there. Actually, it's just a little bit upwards because we don't have the bolts. We didn't tighten them up and all that stuff. But once you put the bolts in and tighten them down, it squeezes it down just a little bit more and holds your U-joints much more securely. And in the event, in the rare event that you break this thing, it's easy. Loosen the nut, take it off, be done with it. And they're like $6, $7, $8 a piece, depending on where you get them from. Keep it, couple extra sets in your rig. When you break these, and not likely you're going to, they're super easy to change out. There's nothing to drill and tap like you would have to do with this. Or drill and tap, drill and easy out, whatever. Just so much better. And as you can see how thick that is, and you've got the bolt going down inside here, these will take a heavy beating. This little puny whippy will not. Now somebody's going to get the bright idea saying, well, why don't you just drill them out and put the U-bolts through the factory one? And you are kind of correct. That works on the Dana 35s. On the Dana 30 fronts, you don't have as much meat through here. They're just not, because once you drill out through here, you're going to be into this radius right here a little bit. And just say hypothetically, you go ahead and drill it out, and you get your bolts, you get your U-bolt through there. Here's what happens. See your little washer right here? Well, it's going to be sitting right along in there, like so. And it's going to be sitting all cattywampus whenever you try to tighten it down. It ain't going to fly, people. So then you try to tighten that down, your washer's sitting all crooked. It just don't work, okay? So just order your conversion yoke and be done with it on the Dana 30 fronts. The Dana 35s, I'll link up a video down below and up a little pop-up card to where you guys can look at Dana 35, and I'll show you where I converted one of their yokes, a Dana 35 yoke, to from strapped to U-bolt. Now, I just want to take a moment while I was working on the gears to give you guys a little explanation of the difference between your strap style yoke and your U-bolt style yoke, and give you the pros and cons of each. If you guys have got any other pros and cons you want to talk about for these, drop them down in the comments. But I highly recommend, if you guys are tearing down the Dana 30 front, to go ahead and get yourself a replacement yoke. So now that I've done all that video, I'm going to get back to the video where I was swapping these out and seeing if there's a difference in the setup between the stock one. Right now, when now you see right there, of course, that's where the yoke goes right there. And in my opinion, preload's already set. It's a little on the high side of about 15 inch-pounds, and what that means whenever you watch that video is my little tiny little cute torque wrench right here, whenever I turn it, this little needle here gets to about 15 inch-pounds, and that's how much pressure it takes to maintain movement of the pinion as you turn it by the yoke. So what the video I'm working on is, this was installed, this was at 15 inch-pounds. This one new just came in, so I'm installing this one, took this out, install this one, not changing any shims whatsoever, okay? I want to see if this new yoke is going to change my pinion preload. So you guys can watch that video up in the corner there somewhere. Yeah, or down below, there's a link, I'm sure. So while powering that screw, hope you guys enjoyed that video about the difference between strap style versus U-bolts. And I hope you guys can make an informative decision off this video. If you guys can make an informative decision based off my little video, that means I did my job. Peace out. Later, y'all.